Today, we're going to rank the stadiums in England. All 92 are in from Premier League down to League 2. I've been to just over half of these in away end with Barnsley. But, you know, obviously I've done my research. I know what they all look like. I'm not daft. I'm not just thinking about what they could look like. But it's about more than what they just look like, okay? There's a number of different factors that I'm taking into account here. Character being the main one. If it's a ball, I instantly don't like it. It's got to be unique. It can't be more than half empty, I'd say, just as a rule. Obviously, the size, you're going to take that into account as well, aren't you? But ultimately, I'm just basing this on pure vibes and my opinion, and that's it. So, if there's two grounds that are like almost identical and I've got one at top and one at bottom, who cares? Seriously, who cares? But anyway, let's have a look at the tiers. So, starting from bottom, we've got Super Balls. Oh my god. Ball, Ass, Tidgy, CBA, and then up into the top two, which is Iconic, and then the Guts. But we're just going to get straight in there. I want to piss people off with first two. Accurate to Stanley, I've got in A because the away end is ridiculous. I love it. It's all standing. There's no roof. Probably a little bit of personal bias from my own experience going there with Barnsley, but I'm not going to take that into account. I'm going to be completely serious. I like that it's just standing away end. I love it. Whereas Arsenal, I think is ass. No character. And it's hard to have character into it when you're a team that's that big because you've just got to, it's just supplying it. You just want as many people as you can. So naturally, the business model, just make a great ball that gets bigger. But you know what? I don't care. It's an ass ground. I hate it. And then another complete swing other way. One of my goers is Aston Villa. I think that ground is perfect. Seriously, that alt end. It's like, you know what I think Villa's ground's like, and this is going to sound ridiculous, like Dortmund's. And everybody loves Dortmund's ground. It's just the whole end behind net. I think that end is like 20,000, something like that. It's nuts. It's absolutely massive. It's probably not 20,000. I've probably overshot that, but who cares? Point still stands. Villa's ground, I think, is unbelievable. I love it. I'm putting Barnsley in here. Character, okay? We've got an end that's like half it ain't got a roof. The toilets don't have a roof on. I think it's biggest away in the EFL as well. Just one stand about 5,500. I love it, obviously. I don't particularly like going because we always lose, but I like the ground. Barrow's Tidgy in it. Like, I'm not going to mess about. I'm not going to speak in depth about them all if there's nothing to say, but Barrow I've got in Tidgy. Birmingham, probably B. I do like it, to be fair. Anything B above, I actually think is a good ground. But yeah, I think there's a lot more to come eventually. Like, I want it to be quite even. I don't want it to just be like so top heavy that there's 40 teams in A and then 6 in B. Do you know what I mean? So to even it out, I'd say that Birmingham is top end B way. Blackburn B as well. I feel like the same thing. That's got a lot of character. But I actually really like that ground. But there's better. So Blackpool B. Bolton. I'm sorry. I said I wasn't going to take personal bias into this. I've got to with Bolton because I've been there 4 times in 2 years. 4 times. Some people don't go to their own ground 4 times in their life. I've been Bolton away 4 times. I hate the place. I despise it. And I know for a fact I'm going to go there at least twice because we're nailed on to get him in playoffs, aren't we? I'm not going into that again, but we're nailed on to get him in playoffs. We'll get him in both cups probably. Ass. Bournemouth. To be fair, I quite like Bournemouth because they've got them great graphics, haven't they, on the side thing that you see when you're watching it on telly, but obviously it's a small ground and there's nothing going on there really. Bradford probably got A. Now that has got a lot of character about it. One stand that's 2-tiered that goes all the way around and then one just shed but away and that's 2-tiered all standing. Mint. I love it. Brentford is a certified ball. It's absolutely disgusting. It looks like it's made out of Lego. Griffin Park would have probably been in A. But yeah, this one, they sold the soul for this shithole. Classic. Brighton C, just a bit boring and naff, I'd say. Bristol City A, I really, really like that. And then Bristol Rovers probably C. I think Bristol Rovers ground gets a lot more stick than it deserves. Yeah, it's unique. You know what I'm going to say? It's a shithole. It is a shithole, but it's a unique shithole, okay? And I like that. Bromley, welcome to the EFL. Tidgy. Burnley, probably C. There's not a lot going on there, really. Burton's Tidgy as well. Cambridge, though, straight ass. I'm sorry. You can have a small ground. I've got no problem with having a small ground. Accrington Stanley's a small ground. But Cambridge, it's like you're 10 mile away from pitch. The gap from the net to the stand is so big. And for what? Literally for what? It's not like there's even a running track or anything there going right edge, which would make it even worse. But there's just so much grass for nothing. Why? Anyway, Cardiff is a ball. Carlisle I actually quite like. I'd say it's in B. I went this time. Very unique. A lot going on. I actually really like it, to be honest. And Charlton is probably one of the favourites that I've actually done myself. The worst thing about Charlton's ground is the stewards that are in it. The actual stadium itself, I think, is bob on. I really like it. Chelsea is iconic. I would hate it if they moved grounds. Cheltenham Tidgy. Chesterfield Tidgy. Colchester, I think Colchester's got something a bit about it, to be honest. I like Colchester, so I'll put that in C. And then Cov is a certified ball again. Rico's a joke. What a shit ground. I'm not saying this because we haven't won there in about 100 years. By the way, that might be a little bit of a factor, but it's still a shithole and it's a ball. Crawley is tidgy. Crew's got a little bit more about it. It's got some character, so I'll put that in C. And then Palace I'll probably have A. I do really, really like Palace. I'm gutted that I've not been able to go there yet, but just from photos and everything like that, that looks a serious ground. I've just heard from my dad that it's a nightmare to get to. So I'll have to make my own mind up on that if we ever somehow play them. Derby, for lack of a better word, this is to be honest. It's a ball. So it could be in ball, but I'm putting it in ass, which is arguably worse. Because there's no character about it. The only thing that I quite like a little bit is that the away end starts from like a point and goes up like that. But it's in the middle of an industrial park. It's a ball. It's just soulless. I hate it. And I've been there 4 times and lost every single time. Donny's a small ball, which is arguably the worst thing you can possibly have, but I will put it in Tidgy. Everton, iconic, man. I swear down. Please, if there's anybody upstairs, please, God, give me Everton away in a cup tie. Please. Even if you lose 10-0, I literally don't care. I just want to go before the move, and I've never had a chance. Exeter I quite like as well. I like the stand behind there. I will say big. But Fleetwood's Tidge. Fulham is iconic. You can't even argue about it. Disregard Fulham as a team and a club because of how irrelevant they are. But Fulham's ground, it's got clues in name in it. There's a cottage in corner, mate. That is sick. And Gillingham, equally as iconic because the away end is just scaffolding. And it has been since dawn of time. It's never even changed once. I love that. Grimsby, I quite like as well. I'll put them in B. Harrogate, a Tidge. Huddersfield, just a shit. Brighton, isn't it? It's so boring. I did like when they used to, I don't know if they still do it actually, I'll find out this season again, when they split away in down middle and they had all their like tin bangers up there, didn't they? I like that, but the actual ground itself, the architecture of it is boring and shit. Hull is a ball and it's Ipswich, top end of B. It would be A if you could see entire pitch from away end, but when I went on a Tuesday night with about 40 lads to lose, you can't see note. You cannot see anything when you're in there. Leeds, I hate them, but it is A. To be honest, Leicester is a ball, absolutely ass. Leyton Orient, probably somewhere around C. Lincoln, I can't put them here. I can't. Another top beer. It's really good. It's really loud all the time. I like it though. It's very strange again, like stand-wise, but there's 4 completely different stands. They've got some toss a weird drum though. It was a bit weird. But other than that, bang on. Anfield, iconic. Luton Town, it's the best ground in this country. People could say whatever they want about, oh, it's a shithole you walk through somebody's back garden. That's character, man. You know when you've been to so many grounds so many times, I can't think of anything worse than going to somewhere like Leicester over Luton. Because you go to Leicester, it's just copy-pasted to 30 different grounds in country. Luton's different. You want to be like, wow. It's like the slums. Luton's the best. Seriously, I absolutely love Luton. Man City's a ball, and it's soulless, and Man United... iconic, I would say. Oh, no, why have I just said that? It's in good. It's the good. Now, obviously, I've not been to Man United away. I've never had a chance. But I'm assuming the feeling of going to Old Trafford away because it's biggest team in country, it's biggest team in world, arguably, them and Real Madrid, and you sat there watching your team in away end, looking around, that must feel different to anything else on this list. Just from what I'm assuming. Hopefully, one day I'll find out. But I would say Man United, Old Trafford is one of the goers. And if they move, they should be fined heavily. Hundreds of millions if they move from what is like a landmark almost. Mansfield, C. Middlesbrough, probably C as well. It's quite boring. Millwall, though, straight in A. 4 stands just plonked there. Almost identical all same height all the way around. Millwall, A. MK Dons, one extreme to other. Literally the worst ground in this country. Maybe if it were full, or if it were even 20% full, you'd get a little bit more from it. But wow, you know when it's just empty constantly? That makes it look even worse. So it's a Super Bowl. The Super Bowl. Morecambe's Tidgy. Newcastle. And Newcastle iconic? No. I'll put them at the actual top of it. Newport, C. Northampton I really like, to be honest. That big hill next to the ground. I actually think Northampton's quite sound for a Tidgy team. Put them in B. Norwich I'll probably put in B as well. Forester A though. Forester A. Forest, you know, to watch it on telly, that's like the best limbs possible that you could see. And I have been in them before. I was there through Ryan's volley at 90th minute. That's probably my favourite goal that I've ever seen live. It's just, I'll tell you what, proper ground. That's the best way to put it. It's a proper ground. Notts County is as well, but they're going in B. Oxford. Again, this can go one or two ways, can't it? Because I've got Gillingham in Iconic just for the scaffolding away end. But Oxford have got 3 stands. That might be too far. 3 stands is crazy. In Championship as well. I'm sorry, they've got to go in ass. Peterborough C. Plymouth, I'd probably say C as well. Plymouth's my favourite away day in country, but the actual ground itself is just sort of there, innit? Port Vale, I'd give Port Vale a B. I actually like that. That's different, and you've got to go up in it. It's very strange. You enter at like the top of the standing away, don't you? And then go down. It's really weird. Portsmouth though, 100%. We're almost bordering Iconic. Portsmouth ground, that is serious. I love that place. Preston, similar to Millwall, but Millwall have got a 2-tiered away end, so that gets higher. But I'll put Preston in B. QPR is A because it's 2-tiered. Is the entire thing 2-tier off the top of my head? I haven't been there, unfortunately. I think it's 2-tiered all the way around. Maybe one stand isn't 2-tiered, but that it's different, I'll tell you that. Whereas this is not different. Reading is a ball, and it's soulless and shit. So is Rotherham. Rotherham is just a slightly bigger Donny. Probably, what, old 12,000, I'd assume, at most. It's just fucking boring. Salford, a Tidgy. Sheffield United, probably A. I quite like Sheffield United's ground. I like where it is location-wise. It's actually in Sheffield, which is always a bonus when you call Sheffield United. I like the away end being 2-tiered. I like the results that I've had there. So I would put it in A. Chef Wednesday, we almost need a different tier because it's just a safety hazard. The place is literally dropping to base. I'm not saying that because I'm biased, even though I am biased. It should be sectioned. There's no way that this passes like health and safety regulations in any of them stands. And I got paid to go in the home end for one game, and there's literally moss on the ceiling, like Black Death moss. So, regardless of where you sat, you're probably taking years off your life by going there, not just by watching football either. But I'll stick it in ass anyway, even though it should probably have its own tier with like an X marks the spot biohazard nuclear warning. Shrewsbury, C. Southampton is a ball. Stevenage is complete ass. I have never seen a concourse in away end that small. Seriously, it's like my room, and I am not even joking. You walk through there's a tiny gap into the stand. The rest of it is this big. And after it is a bloke there selling hot dogs. Stockport B, I like Stockport. I've not been, but just by photos I like Stockport. I cannot wait to go this season. Stoke C. Sunderland you've got to have in A, aren't you, just for like respect for it being the biggest one in the EFL. But it's, apart from being in Evans, when you go there, very good ground in it. I can't see what that is. Oh, it's Swansea. And they're a ball. Swindon's is sick. You'd think Swindon's just like, if I would just Swindon are a big club. They've been in Premier League. They're a big club. Then I was going to badmouth them, but I'm not going to. Tottenham, I'm not bothered. I don't care that it's most modern ground in the world. It's still a ball, even though it's a designer ball. It's still a ball. Tranmere, swear down. That's mint ground. Warsaw's a mint ground as well. Some of these League Tours. To be fair, these aren't like League Two teams, are they? Even though they are League Two teams, these are big teams for what they are. You'd think that all these should be in League One, especially when you look at some of Joss that's in there. Watford I quite like as well, but only to probably see. West Brom same again, but I'll put them in B because it's slightly bigger. But that has got character as well. It gives me Leeds vibes, West Brom, for some reason. West Ham is the balliest ball of the balls. There's nothing worse than this. I went there in what's it called? Posh Seas. I've never seen all like it. You know, for a team that's like where they come from, Upton Park, and a reputation of being like quite summit fan-wise and stuff like that. What has happened? It's like a tourist attraction, West Ham. It's like there's no actual proper fans there anymore. It's curved around pitch. It's one thing being like curved the stadium. The stand curves around the pitch. There's like purple carpet up to pitch. It's just so big and soulless. I'll tell you what, it's sad. I'm so gutted that I didn't get to go to Upton Park because that would have been sat straight in Iconic. I'd have loved to have gone there. Wigan is somewhere that unfortunately I have been, and me blind. That is absolute doggers, mate. Wimbledon is Tidgy, let's not kid. Wolves, I really like Wolves ground. The away end now, I mean, it's really weird, isn't it? The away end is shit. It's like Forest Green on steroids. But I've been twice. I went there when it was there, and then another time I've been stuck up in Evans, miles away. But the actual ground itself, I think, is very good. I'm not even going to lie to you. I think it's very, very good. Same as Wrexham, to be honest. I give Wrexham a lot of stick because, like, again, they were getting 3,000 in non-league, and now suddenly they're multi-million-dollar franchise, you know what I mean? With 7 trillion fans that used to go back in 60s, back in my day when we were shit, even though you got 3,000 fans in. But anyway, I'm not on about that. Racecourse ground looks nuts, and I cannot wait to go. But Sky are going to get the mucky little paws on it, aren't they, and make it a Sunday morning. Anyway, Wickham, I'll probably say B or C. I quite like that it's all like standing, I think, their home end. There are no pubs, though, in like a 20-mile radius of Wickham's ground, but still. And that's that. There's Forest Green and Sutton, but they've been relegated, haven't they? But just for shits and giggles, Forest Green's ass. And Sutton I've not been, but I'm imagining it's small, just on top of my head. But that's that. And I think that's fair, just looking at it like that. Would I change anything? I mean, you can argue that Wednesday's iconic, but I hate him. So I'm not going to do that. I think that's bob on. If we're going off my checklist at start, I genuinely think that is perfect. Like I say again, there's a lot of these grounds that I haven't been to, mainly your big Premier League teams and your crap League 2s, because we just sit in Championship League 1 24/7, don't we? So I've not had a chance to go to a lot of these grounds. But overall, I'm happy. Let me know what you think. Thank you all for watching again. Love you all. And I will see you in a bit. And I was just coming home.